Alright, welcome to my video about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. In this video we will go through all the information I was able to gather and summarize for you to watch in one place. I'm from Czech Republic and you will hear some information that were mentioned just in Czech language. We will cover all the official information and I may sprinkle some of my own opinions or predictions. We won't talk about the story since no official information was passed. If we don't count the basic story structure and the fact that KCD2 is picking off where KCD1 left off. In KCD2 we should be able to experience the climax of the open-ended story of the main protagonist Henry, set in medieval Bohemia in 15th century. I also want the summary to be spoiler-free, in case you haven't played the first game. And now, let's jump straight into it. First thing we have to get out of the way is DENUVO. There will be no DENUVO. It was a false information and Toby, Warhorse PR manager, said that any information that will not come from Warhorse is not official. That said, this video will contain only information shared by Warhorse, Toby or Daniel Vavra. And I will mention if something is my opinion or prediction. Now some general information. The game picks up where KCD1 left off. According to official information, in KCD1 you ride into the forest and in KCD2 you will ride out of it. As we could see in gameplay reveal and dev stream, we will end up injured at the start, but it won't reset all of our abilities or levels. We will start on higher level. In a second dev stream, it was level 8, so you won't start over completely. The game is rebalanced and you will encounter better and more experienced enemies. And the level cap was risen. But for a certain immersion and sense of continuity, is Henry not a peasant anymore? He will have some skills like parry from the get-go. That said, you won't be able to port all KCD1 saves to the game. Toby describes it as being a big fish in a small pond in KCD1, but now being a small fish in the sea. The perk system from the original game was reworked and more meaningful perks were added. This includes main level perks and others, such as combat perks. The hidden perk remains in the sequel too. In the first game, you could get bonus hidden perk by, for example, carrying around certain amount of specific herbs in your inventory. This feature remains and is even expanded. According to Toby, the game is already done and is in a bug fixing and optimization phase. Another big question surrounds system requirements. Toby said that we should wait a little bit longer for game requirements. He teased a little bit about them. He said, and I quote, "You will be surprised. The requirements will be nothing crazy." So I would expect that the system requirements to be quite conservative. That is really good for many gamers who can't afford new high-end PCs, including me. But that is my conclusion. The final word will come from Warhorse. In one Czech stream, Toby said that we will know the requirements by the end of this year, so it's really near. Game is developed in CryEngine again. In Warhorse they have made a lot of changes to the engine by themselves, so it's more suited for their needs. In their own heavily edited version of the engine, the game should look even better than in KCD1. That is awesome considering the fact that the game will be quite accessible due to the fact we can expect conservative system requirements. Next on the list are gameplay mechanics. In the second dev stream there was mentioned several information about the skill system and leveling system. So leveling system stays the same as in KCD1. The more you do a particular thing, the more skilled you are gonna get in this skill. So fighting with sword will give you more points to sword fighting, etc. Savior snaps. There will be savior snaps in KCD2 again. as in first game, but the game will save more frequently on its own and brewing will be a little bit easier, so you will also be able to get your hands on the saver schnapps more frequently. The idea behind this is that Warhorse wants you to invest at least something into the game. The thing they want is your attention. They want you to think about the stuff you do. In this case, you will have plenty of saver schnapps, but it will be expected from you to save now and then. I personally think that the saver schnapps was completely fine, but I won't argue against getting more of it. Swimming won't be in the game. There should be few cutscenes where Henry will attempt to swim, but it won't end well. After that, he should claim that he won't try it again. According to official information, everything that was in KCD1 will be in KCD2. Things like brewing, combat, sneaking, hunting, lockpicking, and many other things. The main difference is that everything is enhanced. Warhorse went and updated all the things we could do in the first game and made them even better than before. This doesn't mean that there is nothing new, but all of the old systems are tweaked and upgraded. And on top of them, some new systems are added. So you don't have to worry, the experience will be similar, even better. Look at the gameplay teaser. In my opinion, it looks even better than before. Kingdom Come 2 emphasizes realism. Developers spend a lot of time crafting maps, towns, villages, outfits, or routines of behavior of NPCs. Everything is tailored as historically accurate as possible. That said, this doesn't mean everything is subjected to realism all the time. Toby mentions that this accuracy is more like a spice or set they are building the world in. But there is a line between fun gameplay and accuracy. They will try to balance it. They want you to enjoy the game and not to feel like going to the job. That's why they add a lot of quality of life improvements like presets. But about them later. Henry now is carrying with him his own alchemy book. He writes down all his new recipes. The alchemy system is a little bit fantasy-like system that is based on real herbalism. All the herbs we can pick up actually exist. Some of the potions can have funny or useful effects. For example, better night vision. Potions should have bigger role than in the first game and should have more impactful effects. The system is easier for newcomers to get into, but if mastered, it will bring its fruits in means of better quality potions or larger amount of brewing potions. Smithing was also added to the game. Henry is a son of a blacksmith, but in the original game there was no smithing minigame or feature. This should change in KCD2. We haven't seen any specific detail about this one, but it will be present. Hopefully we will be able to smith our own weapons or armor. Maybe we will be able to repair our equipment. We will see later. This remains a secret. My bet is that at least weaponsmithing will be a thing. In the Saint and Sinners trailer, we can see Henry forging a sword. The game has new animations when you eat or wash yourself in a barrel or a vat. Previous games had these black screens moments that are gone now. When picking flowers, the black screen still remains. As far as Bathhouse goes, we don't have any information about that. But I personally expect that we will be surprised. Some footage seems like it. Talking about animations, the combat system is reworked and enhanced. Now we can carry pole arms in inventory and use them as a regular weapon type. The middle combat star now has only 4 main directions: top, right, left and a bottom. The constant parry requirement and meta was suppressed. Not every enemy can parry now, not at any situation and nor every attack. In KCD1 it was nearly impossible to do some of the combos, and now it should be possible due to this change. Warhorse Studios has a professional swordsman working with them. They have invested in combat more than in the first game, so I would expect the combat to be better with more techniques than in KCD1. The combat is not dumbed down per se, but rather the entry level is a little bit lower compared to the original. On the other hand, mastering the combat completely can be a challenge. A lot of gamers got discouraged by the KCD1 combat system, so this is a good news for new people. Bows are still present in the game on top of the crossbows, and firearms are added. There should be two main types of crossbows, heavy and light. Firearms will be represented by pipe, in Czech pišťala. Pišťala was a handgun used in Hussite wars. It was a small iron cannon on a wooden stick. The caliber was usually around 15 to 25 mm, so it's approximately up to 1 inch. All of the long-range weapons will have their advantages and disadvantages. There will be no aiming crosshair in KCD2 as in KCD1. This will make crossbows a really easy to use long-range option for easy aiming, but with a longer reload times than bows, but shorter than pipe. Pipe will be really powerful gun with hard aiming, long reload time, but a massive damage. Color and exploration. The developers did big research on the landscape, cities, villages, culture, combat, and many other things. They made the maps, towns, people and such as close to real life as possible, with adjusting for the era of 15th century and the gameplay. There was one stream mentioning armor from different era, but it was used because it keeps the feeling of authenticity intact. So this is Warhorse attitude to doing it as best as they can. They also work with many historians and professionals in various fields. There was a Czech interview with Prokop Jirsa done by magazine Zinc. Here is some of the shared information. Every NPC in the game has its own routines that are dependent on the day and time. Villages will milk cows, harvest crops, go to fields, bat, tavern or drinking or gambling. Every NPC has its own place where they live with their own bed. They take certain routes to get to certain places of interest like a job or their favorite tavern. This means that all NPCs are present on the map the whole time. They just don't spawn randomly behind the corner. They stick to their routine. This type of system was a big challenge. Example was made on a small village. If for some reason the village pub was burned out, all people in the village should stop visiting it. They should start talking about the fire. In the village with 20 to 30 people living inside it, it is much more easier to do this stuff than in place like Gutenberg. In such big place, the problem grows exponentially. There should happen something in Gutenberg to whole district at some point that will influence the whole town behavior. This was, according to Warhorse lead designer Prokop Jirsa, a massive challenge. Then he mentions event system. In the game they have system that makes a game feel more alive. For example, the most basic event is when the system grabs two random people and they are suited for this event, and the system makes them engage in conversation in the street. Or there could be two neighbors who don't like each other, and at some point it could end up with a fist fight in the street. Prokop said that the city like Gutenberg gives them opportunity to make a unique quests tied to different sorts of people who we wouldn't be able to find in ordinary village. Sometimes these people are inspired by real-life figures and have their names if they were found in historical sources. Many people may be disappointed that Prague will not be in the game, but we will have Gutenberg. The Gutenberg had a massive role at that time. It was a place where a central bank was located and it was an important point of interest for many people, such as royalty or wealthy merchants. Gutenberg should be a large city, especially compared to Rataj, which are basically just one street. KCD2 will have two maps, one near Kutná Hora or Gutenberg and one near Trotsky Castle. Now, I will present you the two maps of KCD2 with my little wizardry. I will predict content or approximate size. First of the maps is the one where we will start. It is a land around Trotsky Castle. Trotsky Castle should be in the middle of this map and surrounded by Bohemian Paradise, which is in special protected status in Czech Republic called Protected Land Area, and also in UNESCO Global Geopark. The second dev stream is located near Běžecký rybník, in English pond. If Trotsky Castle is in the middle of the map, as mentioned, and Běžecký rybník is on left from the castle, then the map continues a little bit more to the left behind the pond. It could make around 4 kilometers from middle to the edge. This will give us 8 by 8 kilometers square to work with. It is possible that the castle Hrubá Skála will be somewhere in the top left corner of the map, since first mentions of it come from 14th century. But that is just my prediction. In this case, the map could be cornered by Hrubá Skála, Rovensko pod Troskami, Malechovice and Újezd pod Troskami. I also think that there will be small castle with a tower called Nebák, and the starting location of second death stream. This is the small fortress and is dated to 13th to 16th century, and it was destroyed by fire. You could see this castle in Saint Singer's trailer or in official announcement trailer. This would make the map really big. This whole area could be condensed to smaller size, I would say around 3 by 3 kilometers. The second map is land around Gutenberg, or in Czech Kutná Hora. Both of the maps are of similar size as KCD1, but the Gutenberg one is the larger map of these two. We have seen full map of Gutenberg in the first dev stream. From the other footage, such as gameplay trailer, we are able to determine other places like Suchdol and Malešov. Fortress in Malešov was showed on official Discord, and Toby have posted Malešov on X. There are other places mentioned or can be found with certainty like Bilany, Přítoky, Miskovice. Vrchlice reservoir flooded a village Stará Lhota, mentioned in 14th century. We may see that one for our own eyes. Right of Malešov is village Křeštice, with Church of Saint Margaret dated to 14th century. We also may see Vidlice or Rotěž, where is hunting palace nowadays, but it was built in 17th century on top of old fortress. I would estimate the Gutenberg map to be determined by triangle of Kutná Hora, Malešov and Suchdol. Since we know these will be present on the map, but it is just a guess. We know a little bit less about this map since main focus was on Gutenberg. I would estimate this map size to 10 by 8 kilometers and be condensed to 5 by 4 or 4 by 3 kilometers. Role-playing and a story. Dialogues and role-playing in KCD2 will be massive. Any action or decision taken by us will have its effects. For example, in dialogue there will be the same option as in KCD1 to use certain skill level to have more options for conversations. So if you talk to the apothecary and you know a lot about herbs, there will be more options in many situations to take advantage of. Or if we will wear shiny or blooded armor, we can be more scary or chivalrous. So even the outfit will have its effects, and not just the outfits. If you will not bad, people will comment on it or react to it. They can react to you being drunk or even naked after well spent time in tavern. You may blow your cover while sneaking if you stink too much or wear heavy armor. Some decisions down the line can affect where the story goes. Not hiding or burying a body can lead to fight with several opponents, as it was shown in second death stream. In town and villages, other populated areas is a chance to get stopped by a guard. These guards can ask you to search you if you don't carry stolen goods, for instance. If you do, you will have to pay fee, get arrested, etc. There will be many punishments such as jail time, branding, flogging, pillory, and maybe even execution. Who knows, but that's my speculation. People will remember you, and the always present reputation system will affect how people react to you. This system was present in KCD1 and now should be even more impactful. It can be a quite obstacle if you will get branded, so everyone will see forever. As you can see, there will be a lot of things that can affect each playthrough, and in my humble opinion, there will be big opportunity for replayability. The game will have multiple endings, which will be dependent on decisions you make down the line. The number of endings is secret right now. The main thing about the game is the journey, not the ending. We should enjoy the game as a whole piece and not just the ending, right? KCD2 should be really massive RPG game, so there is much more to be seen than the climax of the story. There should be a lot of decisions that will shape the story in different ways, and not every decision could have a right choice. Some of the decisions have bad outcome either way, but it will affect different people. This will be at some time a big moral dilemma for Henry and us to see these moments and their outcomes. HUD, inventory and customization. HUD is really similar, but is reworked. All the buffs and debuffs are present as round icons like in the first game. I can't say how many different states there will be, or if they will be the same as in KCD1. My guess is that they have kept most of the old and added some new. I expect icon for hunger, hangover, drunkenness, injury and many other states. Since we are talking about HUD, we should mention a new cool feature, the rabbit. There is a rabbit icon that appears under the compass in certain situations. When guards or enemies are looking for you, if they are idle or if they send you to a proper place, or if you are in combat. There are many of different forms of the rabbit icon that are fully animated and quite self-explanatory. These will help you to read many situations. I think it's kinda cool. I really like these little things that make any game shine even more. On the other hand, the inventory is completely new. If you are familiar with KCD1, you will orient yourself really fast. It's quite similar. All the slots for armor and other equipment are present in the inventory again. The slots for equipment are not the same as in KCD1. Some may be joined, removed or new added. We will be able to wear rings, for example. Next thing is presets. Yes, there will be up to 3 equipment presets, represented by crests of different colors, red, green and yellow. We will also have up to 4 quick slots for weapons, shields and other equipment. This means we will be able to have 3 different outfits, for example for battle, stealth or free time. All of them can have different equipment. We won't be able to switch presets during combat, but the weapons and equipment in quick slots will be really easy to switch. This is really nice quality of life improvement. Audio and voice acting. The game music will be done again by genius himself, Jan Walta. He had done soundtrack for the first game and he also worked on the soundtrack for KCD2. So you can wait in excitement for a new music. We already had the opportunity to hear Santa Barbara song in the first reveal video. My favorite song from KCD1 is of course Poverty and Famine. KCD2 had an official world premiere reveal of Czech voiceover for KCD2 in Czech Gaming Championship event. There was a reveal of the same gameplay as in second dev stream. Czech dubbing for the first game was done by fans and was later added to the game by Warhorse, so it's fully implemented now. Czech voiceover for Henry in KCD1 is done by Richard Wagner, and he was also confirmed as a dubber for KCD2. Some of the dubbing is according to Toby done by Czech professional actors or dubbers, but he didn't mention any names. My big guess is that we will see Marek Vašut in some role. He is a friend of Daniel Vávra and done dubbing for Mafia 1. In one Czech podcast, Daniel and Marek said that they are cooking something together. So this is my reasoning for mentioning Marek Vašut. I also think that Daniel Vávra will voice over for Hanuš or Flipe, if we will see him again, since the character is basically Daniel. We could see some pictures of Daniel making some voiceover, so this is reasoning for mentioning him also. In Czech Republic, we have exceptional dubbing. Toby also confirmed that the dubbing is done externally. We will have to wait for more information about this one. Quality of life improvements. One nice new thing added to the game is photo mode. The photo mode camera will be tied to Henry and you won't be able to go far from him, but far enough to make great photos. There is added feature of Henry commenting on your photos or photographic attempts. This way you won't be able to use the photo mode for cheating while sneaking, for example, to look behind corner, etc. Henry is commenting on the photo mode and this way he will blow your cover. Helmet visors can be lowered manually, not just at the point of entering in combat. This is really handy feature to have. Horses should be upgradable now, so you don't need to buy new horse all the time. This way you can keep your favorite horse all the time. As I have already mentioned, quick slots will be present in the game, so you will have quick slots for many weapons and equipments. Release date and editions. Game launches at February 11, 2025 and has 3 main editions. Standard edition with just a base game, Gold edition which contains base game, expansion pass, the Lion Crest quest and Gallant Huntsman kit. In addition there is a Collector's Edition. Collector's Edition contains all the things included in Gold Edition and top of it physical collectible items. Unfortunately, this edition is sold out and few of them are left in some shops in US. Final information and thoughts. Someone also raised the hardcore mode question. The answer was, it is not the priority at the moment, so I think we can expect the hardcore mode but later. I accept the game come out, then they will roll out some patches and further downline hardcore mode as a part of a new DLC or as a separate patch, but certainly not at the launch day. I will quickly touch on one controversial topic, its diversity. This game is set in medieval 15th century Europe. This is not modern Western city. There will be Czechs, Cumans, Poles, Germans, Italians and probably some other people from some other kingdoms or places of that era. we will see when the game comes out. Also, don't expect any pronouns or any of this nonsense to be pushed here. This is extremely modern thing. Society in medieval times had worse problems than that. If you get mad about it, what can I say? Don't. The world doesn't spin around your feelings or political agenda. This is a video game, and we all should just have fun without pushing political topics. This is destroying gaming industry already. We can see it everywhere around us. In my opinion, we know a lot of things about KCD2, and more info will come before the game releases. We still have 2 more months to wait, and the devs will have more than one ace up their sleeve to surprise us with. I hope you have fun and found my video informative. I will appreciate any information I have left out, didn't mention, left in the comments below. I don't only do news or tip videos. I'm mainly focused on playthroughs. I'm also planning to do a full playthrough of KCD1 with Czech dubbing and English commentary before KCD2 releases. But firstly, I want to finish the Stalker 2 series. I may do a cutscene compilation for KCD1 to summarize the story. Let me know if you would be interested in it, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep gaming.